The Luka Doncic trade is one of those things that you're gonna remember where you were when it happened and what were you thinking as everything played out. And because of that, I gotta keep up with it as a Lakers fan, of course. And we gotta kind of chronicle how things have gone since the trade has went down. And today we're gonna talk about it. This is Jim Dropper Sports. Let's get it. So far we've seen the media train do what it's trained to do. Dump on anything the Lakers do until proven otherwise, right? So that's kind of the thing. This is the same with all of your blue blood programs, or around, across different sports. The Cowboys, the Yankees, the Lakers, all subsequently get treated the same when moves are made. Luka everybody was worried about, can Luka play with LeBron? Is LeBron making Luka better? Does Luka want to be here? Things that we obviously have no way of knowing this early into a situation, and go ahead and dubbing the Dallas Mavericks the winner of said trade. Yes, that was said, and I do want people held accountable for those things. Not that the Dallas Mavericks didn't win in some capacity, but in the overall sense. Let's be honest here. Now, for the Los Angeles Lakers, Luka's transition wasn't as easy in the first 3 games. It was weird, him trying to find his rhythm, JJ Redick trying to find out how this needs to work, and him playing off ball for a good majority of some of those games. And again, I think everybody had to understand that while it is basketball and we think you can just plug great players in, they can play and be great anywhere, there's still a transition period. Great players such as Luka, I don't know what the transition period hasn't lasted nearly as long as I think people made it out to see. Him and LeBron have gotten going. Luka is having the ball in his hands more. LeBron's playing off the ball more. LeBron kind of being the greatest Swiss Army knife of all time. Again, conversations will have to be had about that man at some point down the line, but we won't have that conversation today. So for Luka, it's just been him getting back into his groove, getting the ball back in his hands. You know what I'm saying? Being able to help facilitate. Him as a scorer, he's only had one huge night as a scorer thus far, and that's been against the Nuggets. Even against Dallas, he's able to get to the bucket, he's able to get to the cup, and he's able to create. And that's the main thing for me right now, is that he is still able to facilitate offense even when he himself can't provide said offense. And I think right now, everybody's playing better with Luka on the floor. That's been the thing. I'm looking at Rui Hachimura, a guy that many Laker fans were probably done with before the trade happened. Many fans we hadn't seen that flash from him since 2023 when the initial trade happened in Darvin Ham's first season. We haven't seen him play to that level since then, and many people didn't believe he could get back to that. Since Luka has been inserted into this group, he's become a better shooter. The floor is spread open for him. The driving lanes are there for him as well. Guys like Jackson Hayes, who again wasn't really playable when we had Anthony Davis on the court, has become a guy that is very vital to what we do on offense and defense. Very, very much so on defense. He's a post presence that played a big part in why we were able to be successful against Joker in our last matchup. I think those guys, you talk about Rui, Jackson Hayes, and LeBron defensively since Anthony Davis has gone. Those 3 guys have stepped up and elevated their game. I'm watching LeBron play some of the best defensive basketball of his career. He is locked in. He is dialed in. And I believe it's because the offensive workload is now off of him. You look at Luka and what he did against the Dallas Mavericks, he nearly had a triple-double in the first quarter. That's how much he can impact the game. That's how much his pulse is on the game in every single facet of it. And I mean, for Luka, look, I'm not looking at Luka to be a great defender. I'm looking at Luka to be a contributor. And Luka, to me, is giving effort on the defensive side of the ball, and that's truly all I can ask for. The Lakers have a defensive lineup that can make up for what Luka lacks. When you have Dorian Finney-Smith and when you have Jared Vanderbilt in certain lineups, that's going to make up for the fact that Luka isn't a great defender. The only thing the Lakers are missing right now is a bona fide 5-man. That if you do run into a team that has a 5 that can impose his will in the paint, we're going to have a problem. Joker, I thought it probably was going to start with Joker, but I'll say our running gun 5-out type of offensive style of basketball can outpace what he does. Because here's the thing, Joker isn't a post up. He isn't just going into the paint and posting up. That isn't what the offense is facilitated through him, and he gets other guys involved. So because of that, if you have more athleticism everywhere, and you have more guys that you can throw at him, and it causes an athletic disadvantage for him. He can't, and he's not just able to to bid back his way into the paint and do what he does. Look, man, different types of situations require different things. They're not getting the shooting that they once had in years past that made them a championship team. So, things like that are happening. For Dallas, I'm looking at Kyrie Irving and I'm saying he's playing the best basketball of his career right now. He seems the most motivated of any of the guys on the Dallas Mavericks right now to prove himself. Him and Max Christie. That's what I witnessed in last night's game against the Lakers was that he has been on a tear. I mean, I'm talking about even defensively. Like Kyrie Irving, I don't know what the numbers are. I'm not a numbers guy. I'm a that boy good type of ball watcher. Since Kyrie Irving has had to take over the number one role in Dallas, I've seen him play both sides of the ball at a premium level, more so than what I've seen him play at any point in time in his career. He is locked in, I'm watching. It's been fun to watch. I watched him battle Steph Curry a week or so ago before the All-Star break. Took it tooth and nail and made sure that he put a stamp on that game. I watched him do it in other contests as well, and I watched him do it against the Lakers last night. He was going to force his way into the conversation of, hey, look, y'all got to play 4 quarters against us to make in order to win. And this is why I give credit to Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd has been a fantastic coach because with this team and with this roster, he has done nothing but maximize it. And I don't know if everybody can say they believe Jason Kidd can maximize this roster. This roster, when you read it out loud, isn't one that's star-studded. Of course, especially without Luka on the roster, it's even worse, right? Everybody that plays hard. I'm talking about guys like Kessler Edwards play hard. Max Christie, of course, plays hard. All of these guys step up and contribute when their numbers called upon. When they get Anthony Davis back, I will say they're going to be a problem. The one that I did, like even in that game last night with the Lakers, I in my head I'm thinking, hey, if Anthony Davis plays in this game, we don't have an answer for him because he can will his way to the basket and be as imposing of a threat offensively as there is in the league. That's how good Anthony Davis is. So when they get him back, and you saw it even in the little bit of time that he played for the Dallas Mavs, what it looks like if him and Kyrie are on the floor at the same time, they're a problem. They're very much a problem, and they're a tough out for any team that has to pull them in the playoffs. Do I think they can compete for a title? Well, not this year, of course not. Moves have to be made in order to improve what that roster is. But I think Klay Thompson has played well. I think Kyrie has played well, and I think Anthony Davis, with how he was playing prior to being traded and how he played in the one instance where he suited up for the Mavs, I believe there's a lot you can be happy about, even though I know nobody's going to be happy about trading away your young cornerstone franchise piece at this juncture of his career. But for the media, I don't know. I think I wish that people actually tried to give suitable context to situations and not be so quick to call something a failure or a success. Like, I don't even like the fact that everybody's saying that, oh, now the Lakers should be a favorite to win the NBA Finals. No, like, why? Like, why can't we just let this continue to materialize? Why can't we let guys continue to find their role? Why can't we let things just happen naturally? Monitor it, of course, because it's the biggest franchise in the sport. It's the greatest player in the sport, LeBron James, and one of the greatest young players in the sport, Luka Doncic. I understand. I get it. But let's let it materialize. Let's let this thing materialize. There's still great teams. So to a lot of great teams out here that are battling, the OKC Thunder are still battling to be the best in the West. There are too many teams out here that are very good to just sit there and say that, oh, the Lakers should be the favorite. I mean, I think right now I don't like the media hype train right now. Good or bad, I'm just not for it at all. I just want to let things materialize. And, hey, maybe go in depth about why this so happens to work right now. for the Lakers? Why does so happen to work for LeBron and Luka? Like, what are the things that are going right now in order to help the Lakers be as successful as they have been over the past, 10, 15 games? What is JJ Redick doing? Is there something coaching wise that we are not noticing that's being done that is making this team better? Let's get into some things like that instead of being so quick to call things a failure or a success.